This week on the Reviews Doctor podcast. Wait, really? Through Instagram? No, that's underwhelming. Rainiac and the crew talks about the new Doctor and their first Big Finish review. All that and more coming right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Doctor Who Reviews. Huge breaking news primetime special edition. Because we were going to review Death and the Queen, a Big Finish audio starring Davidson and Catherine Tate. We're still going to do that.
We're still going to do that.
We're still going to do that, but we've also got some huge breaking news to get to right after these introductions. Firstly, to my virtual left, he reigns with his left hand, he rules with his right. It's Freezing Inferno.
You calling me a ruler, a part of the monarchy? How dare?
No. All of these themes, these are like song lyrics themed about royalty.
I see.
To my virtual right, you should see her in a crown. It's Kat.
I mean, I'm always wearing a crown because I am a queen.
There you go.
Always.
She admits it.
Always.
And he is guaranteed to blow your mind. It's Kuchiri.
I mean, not wrong.
I like how Fred's got the link to royalty there. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So we will tackle Death and the Queen later, but firstly, massive breaking news. We have a new Doctor.
Holy shit!
Damn.
Wimbledon was won already?
I can't believe that
I thought Eurovision was next week.
I can't believe that Ncuti Gatwa won Eurovision.
Holy shit! And Wimbledon! Oh my god! Way to go!
And he also scored the winning goal in the FA Cup. What an amazingly multi-talented guy this is. So yeah, wow. Our new Doctor, the 14th Doctor, is the actor Ncuti Gatwa.
There he is on the screen.
I know very little about this guy until today.
Yeah, I mean, one major show, a bunch of like side guest roles. Not
to be fair.
What's the one major show? Because I honestly don't know who this guy is.
Sex Education.
I honestly don't know who this guy is.
Don't worry, I hadn't heard that series either.
It's a Netflix comedy, basically kind of like a half parody on those like early 2000s like comedies that was filled with sex, but they tried to do it more like it's still a comedy, but it's more introspective and meaningful. He plays a gay man who is trying to help his boyfriend come to terms with their sexuality and stuff like that.
Okay, here's my next question. Is he actually gay?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, pretty sure.
This is the greatest casting in all time. Not only is this a person of color, but it's also a person of the LGBTQ community.
He's also...
Holy shit.
He's also Scottish and born in Rwanda.
Bigots.
He's from Rwanda?
He's born in Rwanda,
Even
yeah.
better. Holy shit.
Like, I have maintained that as long as the 14th Doctor isn't a white guy that backpedal from Jodie Whittaker, we're so sorry, here's a white man, so that the bigots can all go, no, the female Doctor was a failure. It's like, bigots in ruins. Doctor Who is an LGBTQ black person, so suck it!
100%.
I understand your enthusiasm about that, and I'm not going to take it away from you, but I'm more concerned if the guy can act the part of the Doctor. And the thing is, we don't know.
Yeah, it's like we're gonna. I'm gonna put something forward here now. One thing that we do have that's a common theme is that we want representation, but we want it to be good representation. This, in this case, is what we call good representation, because it's someone who is all these things, and they're going to be the main headline character.
Yeah, it's not like, just for the sake of example, adding in those table scraps of representation 3 episodes before the end because you realize that everyone was shipping them.
It's not, for example, just throwing in a random pregnant dude. Just to throw in a random pregnant dude.
Oh, don't even get me started on that, but yeah.
I mean, I like it. I mean, it's Russell T Davies, so I think he's I mean, this is the man who in 2005 had same-sex kisses on Doctor Who.
So he also wrote a really good gay comedy.
He wrote, like, Remember that show? It's a Sin?
It's a Sin. What was the other one?
Years and Years?
That's it.
And if anybody was watching Kuchiri's stream, he is not a prime minister.
Oh god.
I was
For those
so
who are
angry.
curious, check out Kuchiri's birthday stream.
I was so angry watching that stream VOD back.
We had
'Cause
we
you
had
weren't
10 people playing, and we got a question on U.S. geography. And who won that category?
The
only
Canadian!
Non-American.
The Canadian won it.
I told you, it was against Americans, that entire question.
What was the first one? The first one that I was furious about was that there was... Oh yeah, that was it. The first category was Greek gods, characters in Greek mythology, which my degree was literally about. That was my... I literally wrote my dissertation on Greek heroes. Thank you very much. And then, James Bond!
Yep.
Listen. A Canadian beating Americans in the trivia game. I'm just channeling the spirit of Mattea Roach, who unfortunately lost the Jeopardy game on Friday night. I'm still torn up about it.
And if she'd bet just $1, she'd still be in the game.
He lost by $1, Mattea. Oh, you
If she
angel.
just bet $1, she'd still be in the game.
I will say, it's fucking wild. I'll get off this tangent. It's wild that the 5 top Jeopardy winners, as of now, three of them had their streaks this season, and one of the other ones is the goddamn co-host of the show.
And the 5th one is a chaser.
Jason Zephyr-Nefri is a chaser?
It's either Holzhauer or Brad Rutter.
Holzhauer.
Okay, I'm thinking of a different guy. Holzhauer, okay.
Yeah, Holzhauer is on Chaser. Rutter is also a chaser too. Anyway, so we got that news out of the way.
Well, hang on. Can I just talk about how hilarious the way they announced this was? Because, you know, the Doctor previously, they've been generated on the series, or they've got a primetime special, or they've got a video in the middle of the Wimbledon final to show who it is. This was just tweeted out randomly on a Sunday lunchtime.
I literally went to do my dishes this morning and like just relax and watch YouTube while they were like in deals and stuff. I come back to the computer and there's a new Doctor Who. It's like, what the fuck?
The actor put up an Instagram post late this morning of a blue square and 2 hearts.
Oh my god.
And then 20 minutes later, the BBC website confirmed he was the new Doctor Who, and then it was tweeted out. But I wish it had been televised because I just loved to see the visual of people just sitting down to a Sunday lunch. Here's a new Doctor Who. It's a black person. Ah!
Oh,
It's not even just Sunday lunch. May I remind you that in the U.S., at the very least, it's also Mother's Day?
Oh my god. And I think the reason
Yeah.
why they've done this now is because Russell T Davies and Gatwa, they are going to be, they are at the BAFTA Television Awards tonight. So if they are there to present an award, and as they're going on right now as we're recording, I don't know this. I'll add it in post, I guess. That's probably why they've chosen to give it away now. It's such a shame because the 14th of May was next Saturday.
Well, here you go.
We could have had the 14th on the 14th.
Can I also, this is going to detract from it a little bit, but kind of weird that they decide to announce the Black Doctor in, just a tweet. They better do something bigger for him.
I think
That's all I'm saying.
this was literally a case of, oh no, we're about to give it away at the BAFTAs. We've got to get something out now.
I mean, I would have just given it away at the BAFTAs and made that the announcement because that's a big event.
That could also have worked.
Yeah.
But instead, they decided, oh well, we can't let it be announced at the BAFTAs. We have to do it now. Why?
But we have no more information on Series 14. Plus, of course, they have started filming this week, so that's another reason why they might have decided to announce it now.
Now the question is Ncuti Gatwa going to be in the centenary? Or is it going to be, like, surprise! I'm
No.
generating the David Tennant for an episode!
No, all 16!
I'm glad somebody got to that. Sadly, it cannot be all 16, but that would be pretty epic.
It's okay, Rainiac. The parts of William Hartnell, Patrick Troughton, John Pertwee, and John Hurt will be played by floating CGI heads.
Don't even go there.
I nominate myself to be one of the CGI floating heads.
What, just playing another version of the Doctor that's not been discovered yet? Okay. So,
She got what one around. Where am I? What year is it? 2013.
And then I put my foot through the television. So, Death and the
Then you go.
Death and the Queen. Then we've got the big news out of the way. We don't know too much more about it other than who it is. It's a pretty big deal.
Death and the Queen. Cat. What in God's name is happening over there?
Nothing that you need to be worried about.
Okay, because I can hear. It sounds like you're bunching up tinfoil.
I mean, that may have been exactly what I was doing, but it's nothing you need to worry
I
about.
thought that was something else, to be honest with you. But
All right.
so we are actually here not to talk about the 14th Doctor because that was completely out of the blue. We're here to discuss Kuchiri's off-the-wall pick of the Big Finish audio, Death and the Queen. And holy
You guys are
crap,
welcome.
this was an experience for me.
So something, I tell you. Woo.
So obviously, we're not going to have any pictures of the episode other than like just one big banner for the whole thing.
Wow, it's like we're really actually a podcast now.
Except
Thanks
we
for
probably
taking
put
my
up the
joke.
pictures already of the 14th Doctor, the
No.
Instagram tweet of the two hearts in the blue box.
In the Death and the Queen segment, I said.
Well,
There's also my
and then
pick to get
Rainiac
to
has
the
to
end
put,
of.
and then Rainiac has to put in this GIF.
I'm not reacting to that GIF.
Well, we are all reacting to that GIF, so now it would be conspicuous not to have that GIF in there.
15 love.
Yeah. So, Death and the Queen. When did this come out?
2016, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not like
Yeah.
it's not like this was part of the whole. Oh my God! Remember 2008 when the show was good? This is actually just like hey, it's spin-off.
You know
media.
what? We should have waited until next week to do this because the anniversary is May 16th.
Oh well.
The anniversary of.
Death and
Death and the Queen.
Queen. It was released
Oh.
on May 16th of 2016.
Yes, but Kat,
okay,
he sprang this on me out of nowhere, so.
But yeah, I mean, but
I mean, I was just mentioning it as an aside, but okay, sure, go off.
Thank you, I
was the
will.
gap year. That was the gap year for Doctor Who, where we had nothing between Husbands of Earthsong and Return of Doctor Mysterio. So this is fine. It's not undercutting the main show, which is my main objection to all the other spin-off bullshit. And I'm always like more critical of the main show than I am the spin-off stuff, because the spin-off stuff is always going to be, indulgent and self-referential and fan-wanky. But in this audio's defense, it's not really self-referential and fan-wanky like that. It's not like this is some returning monster to make you go, I know what that is!
No.
No, it's actually just a well-crafted story starring the leads of the 2008 season of Doctor Who.
And I love the way this opens up. So we get a cold open, even in an audio, we get a cold open. And we start with exciting music and David Tennant on horseback.
Hooray! Wow, it's like it's like Day of the Doctor all over again.
He seeks an audience with the Queen. Unfortunately, Freddie Mercury does not allow him into the castle.
Death is coming. Death is coming.
Well, I mean, if he was the 7th Doctor, all he'd have to do is just walk right in, and there's the Queen.
You're right.
I'm wrong, but I'm right.
So he wants an audience with the Queen. He's not going to get it. He's insistent. And the Queen is Donna Noble.
Cue 2008 intro, which, after not hearing it for so long, it feels good to hear it again.
I love this
I'm not gonna
intro
lie.
so much.
Yes, Queen.
I knew somebody was going to mention that at some point. You did not disappoint. So, yeah, the 2008 intro and outro songs are so good,
They really
And
are.
and it feels good to hear them again. So, why is Donna the Queen? Well,
It's Rainiac talking about Murray Gold.
No. That's me done talking about Murray Gold because that's the only music of his that appears in this story.
You still gushed about it. That's a bingo dab.
I'm allowed to gush about my favourite composer for this show.
Yeah. Well, I'm allowed to say, Doctor Who mirror alert. Boop 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 boop.
Thankfully, there are no.
No, that was
mirrors in
just
the story.
forceful. That was very forceful.
Unless I've missed one,
Doctor Who mirror alert. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Unless I've missed one, I can't
Come
think
on,
of one in the
Kuchiri.
story.
I'm just trying to keep the trope alive.
Oh my god.
You know what my favorite part about all this is? Every single time I play something on the soundboard, you all go completely quiet.
Oh no, 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 no,
Alright.
no, 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 no.
Do it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm watching you.
That's what The Undertaker said to John Cena at WrestleMania!
Oh dear, what's happened? Oh no. Oh, that's terrible.
Oh no, how horrible.
It's okay. I'll get him soon.
You did kind of get me, but anyway.
So, after we hear that theme song that Reniac so loves because it's composed by Murray Gold, his favorite composer of all time, we cut to...
Oh my god, I love this flashback of why Donna is the queen. So they went to the French Riviera in the 1790s. Blackpool gets dissed again.
As it should.
How very dare you?
To be honest, whenever I picked this story, I had no idea about the whole Blackpool thing.
A likely story. No, you absolutely did not. 'Cause it's mentioned like for 5 seconds. But can we just talk about Donna's grasp of French here? It's hilarious. Petition to get Catherine Tate to do more audios where she has to speak French. But she meets a very important character called Rudolph.
The Crown Prince of Goritania.
A country the Doctor has never heard of.
What's Goritania?
What the fuck is that? And he offers to show Donna roulette.
Yes. And then
How
my
romantic.
favourite part of the entire serial.
I don't. Well, this is very good. This is a good setting tone. So, we cut to Donna and Rudolph are watching the sunset together. It's a very romantic moment. Then the Doctor comes on in and busts up their date.
I like imagining them on like a bench and the Doctor comes in from underneath the bench.
Yeah, he does this several times and it's funny each time. Because he keeps saying the exact same thing. Goritania! I'd never heard of Goritania.
They're having dinner together and then he just pops up. Goritania? What's Goritania?
You can absolutely imagine this in your head, can't you?
I mean, that's the mark of good sound design. I mean, yeah.
We also, oh yes, Klaxon. He gets to use his catchphrase.
Oh,
And the
He
way
doesn't
that
say
Rudolph gets rid of the Doctor is brilliant.
he doesn't say allons-y in this one.
No, that's -5 points. But he
Yeah,
does
but
say,
there's a
oh yes.
beautiful painting. The Donna and Rudolph are also admiring a painting, and then I just wrote down, God damn it, Doctor, shut the fuck up about Goritania.
The way they eventually get rid of the interloper is that Rudolph tricks him onto a very fast horse, which is then sent to run away.
Yeah, he's like on the carriage with him as they're riding, and he's like, oh, I wanted to check out the church archive. Did you know that Goritania's not had a war in over 500 years? That's really strange, isn't it? Blah, 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 blah. Oh, one of the horses has thrown a shoe. Oh, well, lucky my Sonic has a thing for that. Bye, bitch!
Oh
So long,
god.
farewell, auf Wiedersehen, Saint fuck you.
So with him out of the way then, Rudolph finally gets to propose to Donna, and she of course accepts because she's the queen in the present. And we cut to the present. And so Donna's now queen.
I want to say one thing about this section. I love that there is no timeline for this.
No.
Yeah.
So you could very easily read it as all of this happened within one day.
It very much could have done.
And that is so Donna.
It is so Donna. But then we get another fun bit where Donna's talking to the Doctor about all the stuff she's been doing while she's about to become the queen and stuff. She's blowing the war horn.
Oh, the war horn is so good.
And then there's a bit that I'm going to talk about my experience because I live reacted to this with Kat, where I was like, oh, yeah, I've got all sorts of great things in this castle. I've got servants. And I was like, Kat, what the fuck? What?
And then I immediately told him, just wait. It gets better.
And it does.
And then they cut to Donna, and the servants are like, oh, Mom, let's do this for you. She's like, for the life of you leave me alone. I can't fucking go anywhere without you people hovering around me.
Yeah.
It's not even that gets better. It's what Donna does with the servants. Like,
Oh, yeah.
That's genius. That's genius.
Her maids, yeah.
Yeah.
But let's talk about another guest star who I think does a pretty good job in this.
Oh, yeah.
Alice Krieg.
Queen Mother? Alice Krieg.
The Queen Mother, Rudolph's mother. She is not a big fan of this particular union. And
she doesn't like Donna.
She and Catherine Tate bounce off each other so well throughout this.
They do.
It's so good. So
much spikiness between them. I love it.
I'm going to say, knowing what we do later, why isn't she just playing nice with Donna?
Because
doesn't want to make it seem too
obvious. Yeah.
Obvious.
Well, no, but she could still be accepting and be like, yes, you're coming with us and everything. It's like, why wouldn't you want to bring her more in? Because you're just, like, you're basically making it so that people don't want to marry Rudolph.
Because some people just cannot hide their true nature.
I guess.
Yeah.
But it's like, he's already got the big red nose. Why does he need his mother to also detract from him?
Well, it sounds like they wanted to go more into his mommy issues, because especially near the end of the episode, but...
Oh, so did he have a hat?
So either way, Rudolph's mom, the Queen Mother, doesn't approve of the marriage. Donna doesn't get to make any decisions. Oh, you don't get to do any of the decisions because you're not the queen until we actually get married.
And then the best line, Clarkson. Doctor, fancy a quick trip through my ramparts? I think she even says, I can't believe I'm about to say this before she says it.
Yeah. Is she always like this? Poor Donna.
And then, the maids. The maids are awesome. So,
I love the maids.
So Donna has done something with the maids that's productive.
Before that, I got to highlight a great line where the doctor's talking about, what the fuck, you're getting married? And Donna's like, are you going to ruin all of my weddings?
Oh, that's a good line, but also heartbreaking because it's true.
I mean, yeah. But the doctor didn't. She was going to marry.
I mean, to be fair, the doctor never actually ruins her weddings. It's all the people who decide to try to marry her and lie to her.
Well, not even just that. Tried to sacrifice her to some weird alien.
Well, we haven't gotten to that part yet.
Well, no,
yeah.
that was the sort of...
he means the rat nurse. Is it Lance?
Holy shit! I never thought of the plot of Runaway Bride compared to this. Holy shit!
But she's got married before. They don't set where this is in the timeline, by the way, which I think is by design.
Just season 4. It's during season 4, obviously.
Yeah, but before she left the TARDIS for good, she had got married. She nearly got married to Lance. He then got killed by the Ratnos. She got married to somebody in the virtual world, but then came out of it. So that's a divorce, technically. And I think there's probably more in Expanded Universe as well. So she's not looking in love as poor Donna, and she's not looking in love here either.
I feel really sorry for the one from the library episodes.
Yeah.
Just because the poor guy tried to get her attention because he actually loved her, and then it's like, oh no, he's having trouble talking.
The stutter stops him from. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that scene because let's play up the disability of stopping the guy from getting to her.
Yeah.
So, anyway, the handmaid.
Oh yeah, the handmaid. Well, can we not call them that given what's happening in the US right now? But the maids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't going to bring it up, but there it is. The maids.
Yeah.
Yeah, Donna's maids are amazing. They're led by Hortense, who is voiced by Doctor Who Big Finish stalwart, Beth Chalmers.
Nice.
She also voiced all the maids, but she's uncredited for that.
Okay. So Donna has taught them how to read and write using what limited tools she had available. Jackie Collins novels.
If you know what those novels are, that's very funny.
All I know is that the maids all greet the doctor by saying, "Pleased to meet you, doctor, you rich capitalist dog."
As soon as I heard this line, I knew you were going to enjoy it.
I liking your story. I'm liking the story. You're building that enjoyment up. You're appealing to better interest.
It's quite common practice, by the way, in Big Finish for actors to read for multiple roles and not even be credited for all of them. I have no idea who voices the soldiers we're about to hear because they're not in the cast list.
So they go up to the ramparts, and the doctor points out that there's a storm coming. By storm, I mean a giant fucking talking cloud that's going like, "I bring death. The price must be paid."
Oh, this guy's voice is awesome.
All hail the glow cloud.
This is Alan Cox. I don't know what else he's done, but his voice for death is spot on.
It's amazing.
He must have needed several lozenges after doing this voice.
Wouldn't you know?
I mean, there also could have been mostly, like...
Audio trickery?
Yeah.
It could have
Possibly,
been, but
yeah.
I think he had to put a certain bass in his voice to sound convincing. But the cloud is death, or claims to be death. It brings death, and the price must be paid. $1, Bob, $1.
The price is not right.
I love how the Brit made that joke.
See, I wasn't going to make that joke because Frezno now has trauma related to $1.
Oh yeah.
Poor Matea.
Poor Matea. She made over 700,000 Canadian dollars, and she's coming back for the end game. But poor Matea.
Yeah, she could have won more from them. But
Yeah.
I don't think there's enough episodes left of this for her spot to be taken in the tournament.
you know what's funny is that I'm thinking of this now, but it's the way that people on game shows react to winning money. Like, oh, Jeopardy, you just won $1,000. They're like, oh, okay, they're happy about it. Wheel of Fortune, you just won $1,000. Hey, Price is Right, you just won $1,000.
Didn't someone?
He isn't wrong. He isn't wrong.
He's not wrong, but didn't someone win $1 million on just a round of the game of Price is Right?
Yeah, they did a.
We think over $1 million is something, but every time someone wins any amount of money on Price is Right, they lose their fucking shit.
They're coached to lose it, though.
Like no. Well, no, I don't think they're coach. I think it's more you're not expecting to win any money in that show. You're only expecting to win gifts. So the fact that you get money at all is just because even if you win prizes, you need money to pay for those prizes. You don't actually get those prizes outright.
They still have to deal with taxes and
fair.
everything on that, and it's like
So you win like a $30,000 car, you must pay $3,000 to keep that car.
I think certain game shows, though, I think the contestants are encouraged to go over the top.
No, yeah. I mean, the game shows that you have to audition for, like The Chase, Deal or No Deal, stuff like that, you do have to have a personality, or else you're not even going to make it there, and you have to be sure to keep that personality up.
I think it's also part of it is the fact that there is a quote-unquote live studio audience watching the games for Price is Right. So it kind of makes sense to have all the people on the stage hyping everything up because there's a chance that somebody in the audience can be called up. So like it keeps the energy up.
So back to Death Cloud.
How are we going to do with this Death Cloud? Oh, we're going to send soldiers out to attack it. What?
First of all, Rudolph comes up and is like, "Men, attack the cloud." Donna, is your fiance attacking? Is your fiance shooting arrows at a cloud?
Yeah.
And then it gets a better idea.
This is the part where I'm 95% sure that Donna just has a boner for stupid people because the entire time she's like, "Yeah, isn't it great?"
Maybe she was in trance or something, but what's not great is
I think
this
she was
next
being
bit.
sarcastic.
Yeah,
I also
possibly.
think she was being yeah.
But this is not this next bit is not great. So the cloud is destroying everything it touches.
It's also talking about a bargain not being kept, and it's going to bring war and famine and death. Pay the price.
Yeah.
And so Donna is
Doctor has no idea
fucking awesome in this. She comes up with the idea of, why don't we just get everybody into the castles and then they'll be somewhat protected from this thing, since, it's attacking everything on the outskirts of the town.
Even the peasants?
Even the peasants.
So
which
she
the
sounds
Queen
the
Mother
horn
is
of
not happy
Gondor.
with.
There are peasants in my castle? How dare you!
David Tennant also gets a good line here when or is it, no, it's Donna, sorry. It's like, and do not eat any of them, not even the sheep.
Yeah. So I should also mention, I've got in my notes because this comes up. The doctor's asking about the fact that the Goritanian flag, the royal standard they call it, it has this weird language on it that he can't understand. You know, TARDIS translation bullshit means you should be able to understand it, but it's untranslatable by the TARDIS. So that's interesting.
That is
What's
interesting.
going on there? But yeah, so they get all the people in the castle. The Queen Mother is pissed. The coronation is going ahead regardless of this fucking death cloud, and the Queen Mom ain't having no word otherwise. The coronation will proceed.
I've just got a wonderful mental image of the Queen Mother going around the castle just tripping over random sheep.
Oh my god. And so now Rudolph is issuing the ritual challenge.
And I've got the translation of the ritual challenge right here in my notes. Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Yep.
Well, I would not say that line coming from Rudolph. He seems to be actually legitimately hesitant about this.
He still orders
but
them to their
feels
deaths,
that
though.
because he is a... Let me finish before you interrupt me,
Sorry,
dang it.
sorry.
He seems to feel that as a king, he should be showing that he is doing something. And the best way he can show to do something is to, send out this party. Because, he thinks that will help. It's just unfortunate that they all die, and it's like there is a later scene where he confronts his mother. And honestly, it seems like it was entirely his mother's idea, because he doesn't seem to be fully on board with this whole thing, especially after the fact that everybody fucking dies when they go to meet the cloud.
Oh, the screams are horrible.
Yeah.
And Donna's like protesting even as he's doing this, like, that's a fucking death cloud. You're sending these people to their deaths, Rudolph. And Rudolph makes some fucking sexist joke.
Women, eh? Haha.
For fuck's sakes. Which, I know Kat is giving Rudolph some sympathy in the story, saying that, to coin a phrase, he's not entirely villainous.
Don't.
I am less generous to Rudolph in this story, but, that's what a discussion and debate are all about.
But the Doctor does do an awesome bit here with the Queen Mother. Because she's just sheltering inside the castle and saying, oh, my son's doing the right thing. And the Doctor forces her to watch the slaughter.
No, you gotta say the lines like, you're not watching the slaughter, Your Majesty?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm proud of our soldiers. You're so proud of them that you're sitting in a room with windows that you can't see out of! And then he smashes the fucking window to force her to confront the fucking lives that they're sacrificing for the greater good.
The greater good.
Oh, God.
And then
sorry, I blacked out for a second there. What?
But as he does that, they're all dead, and she's just like, "Well, it sounds like there's nothing to see, Doctor." And the Doctor gets this real true line: "Don't tell Donna I said this, but some people, like you, almost aren't worth saving." And she says, "I think Donna will make a fine queen, better than you deserve."
Oh,
and as he leaves, the Queen Mother's like, "Will someone come and no, immediately?" Right.
Will someone come and what? You cut out.
Someone come and repair this window immediately.
Yes, he just smashed it to let us see the carnage.
It's like people are dying and there's a death cloud. She's like, "Window must be fixed."
So
come on, you peasants.
The Queen Mother definitely represents apathy in this story.
I'd say it's more than apathy, because there's also a very real air of disgust towards people.
Yeah, like
especially the quote-unquote lower caste.
I'd say holier than thou. I mean, better than you.
I mean,
yeah,
it's monarchy, so that's saying a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
so the soldiers are all gone. The only thing that remains behind is their standards, their flags.
Yeah, the flags are perfectly intact.
It's about to get worse because the cloud now summons an army of skeletons.
And Donna confronts Rudolph. And it's like, "You sent those people to die. I want to be king, and sometimes that means asking people to die. I can't understand why you did that. You're taking this in stride. You're just like him. My ancestors prevailed. And ever since then, there's some peace. A king can order anyone to do anything. And so Donna tries to say, oh, fuck this, I'm out. But Rudolph won't let her. It's not all fancy crowns, Donna. You had to make tough choices when you were king. So you had to marry me, or everyone in the kingdom is going to die.
And he doesn't elaborate on why this is. We'll find out soon enough.
It sounds more like a fucking threat to Donna. Like,
Can I just say, I think it's very unfair of the Doctor to compare Rudolph to him.
Of Donna, yeah.
Because, all right, he does do things that he perhaps shouldn't for the good of the cause, but he wouldn't let people sacrifice themselves like that for no reason.
I would also like to say, right around this point where he says this is where I first got the inkling, but it wasn't until she started getting dressed in her wedding dress that I figured out the plot of this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, you start to figure that around here.
It was a little easy. It was a little telegraphed.
A little bit, but yeah, I don't think I picked it up as well. I just could have wrote with it, but yeah, Donna's on her wedding day. She's crying, and
Hortense.
Hortense. I don't have it written here like that. Yeah, she's helping her. Oh, I'd do anything to stop the cloud. It destroyed my mother's house and the church and the woods I played in as a kid. All that remains are the soldiers out of their flags. And there's a real telling line. I'm a maid, and we're peaceful people. We rely on our betters to protect us. Ugh.
Yeah, but I kind of love the character of Hortense.
I do too, but are they really fucking protecting you?
No, but this was like 1790s.
Yeah, but But anyway, it's time.
I mean, let's try to remember. For those out there who might be like a little hesitant, like, ugh, I don't really like this. Just wait. They get so much better with Hortense and everything.
They do.
They do.
They mean, completely redeem these little bits here, but
the payoff is worth the moments.
Also, we've done it again because Beth Chalmers, among the many characters she's voiced in Big Finish, Rain Creevy.
Oh my god.
The next companion after Ace.
Oh.
The safe breaker, the one that appeared in Crime of the Century.
Oh.
Would have been Rain Cunningham, but they renamed her because that was a real person's name, who we mentioned during Survival. So we've done it again. Then we get the great bit with the wedding dress, which I love this scene so much.
Go ahead.
So after a small bit where the Queen Mother's like, oh, the Grim Reaper is here. Do not admit him, son, yet.
I mean, we should talk about the fact that the Grim Reaper fucking shows up.
Yeah, he's emerged from the mist. He's staring straight at Donna. And Donna is obviously concerned about this, but she's not like panicking yet. She's like, why is Death looking straight at me? Put a pin in that. We'll get to that later. Now the wedding dress scene. So her maids have prepared the wedding dress for her big occasion. And the Doctor just comes in.
Can I jump in because there's a small scene before this that I really want to highlight.
Yeah, sure.
We got the Queen Mother ordering the servants around, being uppity and complaining. This isn't right. That's not right. That's not right. Can't you idiots do anything right? And Rudolph comes to her worried because the ritual challenge killed all the men. And to that, the Queen Mom says, good. And then Death is coming. Oh, don't admit Death just yet. They clearly know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. And this is, again, why I say it sounds like Rudolph is very hesitant to do all this stuff, but he's very much being led by his mother.
He is controlled, but I still don't particularly like him.
I would also like to mention, during the whole getting dressed scene, Donna remarks about how the embroidery on her slip is exquisite.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Put a pin in that, too.
I will admit here, I kind of thought that there was a different nefarious reason for this embroidery than what it turns out to actually be.
Well, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I thought she was being set up with something here.
Yeah. I mean, she is being set up with something, but the slip is not part of it.
No.
So, the Doctor goes to see Donna.
I love how the way he compliments on a huge wedding dress, which is not a compliment. You could, what was it? You could serve food under that. It's a tent. But we get a wonderful bit of introspective 10th Doctor here.
We also just get a great scene between Doctor and Donna. We don't. It's been years since we've seen
Yeah.
these two be next to each,
Just
near
talk.
each other.
Yeah. It's been ages since they've just talked together. This is
Yeah.
what, 2016? So it would have been 7 years.
8 years.
8 years, yeah.
Jeez.
Because they don't talk in the end of time because she can't remember him.
Womp.
Womp! You respond to that with womp.
I mean, womp womp.
Doubling
But
it
what
up
more
doesn't
do you
make it
want?
appropriate.
I gave you 2 womps.
I gave you two womps, Rain. I gave you 2 womps.
But the Doctor thinks this is going to be their last talk. You know, Donna's going to get married. He's just going to go on adventures. She's just going to live here, you know, in this castle with Rudolph and all that stuff.
There's so many good lines here. It's like, oh, you companions, you come, and then you go. Every one of you a heartbreaker. That's why you've got 2 of them, stupid.
And then I love the line about how even the robot dog left me.
Twice!
Is that a motherfucking canine reference for Cat?
Oh, I'm so happy.
The writer of this
They
is
remembered
James.
K9.
The writer of this is James Goss, and he just gets how to blend comedy and tragedy perfectly here.
Oh yeah.
It's beautiful.
Because you've got this big, beautiful scene, like, you know, oh, I don't want to let you go because it hurts, but you found the right man, Donna. You know, Rudolph is the man for you. Well, actually, Doctor, I'm not sure about. No, he is. He is. Don't interrupt me while I'm saying goodbye. And
Doctor, I'm trying to tell you he sucks, you fucking idiot.
Even then, he still doesn't fully get it. It's the best.
I love how, like, Donna is the one that's figuring everything out and is working to, like, save everyone there. The Doctor is about ready to just leave.
Well, speaking of Donna's clever idea, as Death starts knocking on the door demanding to be let in...
where have the maids gone?
It's time for a wedding.
It's a nice day for a white wedding.
Is this where the goodbye scene happened?
Which goodbye scene?
The one where the Doctor whispers goodbye, Donna, whatever?
Yes, he just walks away
Yes.
while Donna is
Yeah.
watching the maids do something awesome with protecting the castle from death.
Well, the thing is, I love, like, at this point, whenever he said that line, instantly, all of the, you know, final episode of season 4 just flashed in my head. He finally got to say a goodbye to her.
Oh, God,
8 years
yes, he
after
did.
It's like, honestly, the scene with Donna and the Doctor is just such a great scene. And it culminates in the Doctor being like, where are all your maids? You're all alone on your wedding day. This is so sad. Isn't this terrible? And she's like, it's not terrible because they're doing something for me. And then all you hear is like the sound of all these windows smashing. And Hortense is like, come on, ladies, let's do it. And Donna has the fantastic idea of having them paint banners as the royal standard so that Death and his army of skeletons, which by the way there's an army of skeletons, can't touch the castle because it's being protected.
Yeah, and the Doctor gets a great line. He's like, do you have any idea why that worked? No, neither do I.
I love Donna in this.
She's
This
good.
is fantastic.
She's really good. She gets as good as she gets.
And once again, the Doctor mentions he still has no idea what Goritania is, but, it's time for the wedding.
I honestly thought at this point that, wait, is Goritania actually deaf? Is this like a whole psychic setup? And Goritania didn't actually exist. This was all an elaborate trap to get Donna or the Doctor.
Well,
Well, it is an elaborate trap, but not in that way.
so, we get to the wedding. And Rudolph attempts to apologize for being short with Donna at the altar. This is the renewal of the kingdom of Goritania. And so they say their vows, and Donna is going to give... And it's like, oh, Donna Noble, do you give yourself to the kingdom of Goritania? Do you love Prince Rudolph? I do. Prince Rudolph, do you give this woman to Goritania? I do. Let him enter!
Well, let's put it this way, Rudolph also hesitates before he says I do.
Yeah, he does.
I want to establish Rudolph is actually a good person. The problem is that he's a mama's boy. Which
Yeah.
even the Doctor points out, he is a mama's boy.
Yeah, he is. He
And
is very
ladies and gentlemen, and all of those in between who are out there, if you are with somebody who is a mama's boy, leave.
Wow.
Just trust me on this.
As a mama's boy, I take offense to that.
No. You love your mother, and that's perfectly fine. I'm talking about the people who are controlled by their mothers.
Yeah, that's the actual definition of mama's boy.
These are the kind of people who, let's say, their significant other has a baby or is going to have a baby. The controlling mother is immediately going to be like, "That's my baby now. I'm going to raise it. I'm going to be the one in charge. You're going to do everything exactly as I say." In those cases, leave. It's never going to get better.
Oh my god! I've just thought of an amazing performance by Diana Rigg in the '90s in a drama called Mother Love, which basically takes that to the huge extreme.
While you were saying that speech, I have one winged angel in my head.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, that is the ultimate mother issues.
Yes.
And a little bit of daddy issues.
I thought you were going to say
reasons.
Gygus when you said mother issues. I thought, no, wrong mother.
We're recording this on Mother's Day, so...
Well, not for me, you're not. Mother's Day happened a long time ago for me.
Over here in the colonies, where fucking... It's Mother's Day.
Let the record show I never called it the colonies. Except when I just repeated it from Frezno. Shit.
And now you're marrying me. Fuck.
So,
Man, now all you guys are going to do is edit it so it sounds like I said Coolsville sucks.
I still don't know what that's from, but every time you bring it up, it makes me laugh. So the Queen Mother has let Death into the castle. It was a setup this entire time. Oh, son of a bitch, what?
Yes, because Donna is not there to be a bride to Rudolph. Donna is there to be a bride to Death.
Yeah, the title Death and the Queen, it was literal.
There's also a slight problem where Death decides to show off his power by start touching people, which immediately kills them.
Hey, don't do that.
Again, horrible audio sound alert.
Yeah. And there's also the problem of Death reaches out his hand to Donna, so...
And
yeah.
Rudolph's like, by making a terrible sacrifice, I can save Goritania. We have to give you to Death, Donna. So meanwhile, as all this is happening, the Doctor's talking to Hortense. And she
The best
mentions,
character.
Oh, when maids court, they wear a bracelet of the Royal Standard. And then he realizes, wait a minute, the words on the bracelet, the words on the Royal Standard, they don't want to be read. Oh shit, that's it, I'm a genius.
I also like how this scene, like, the Doctor's already decided that the Donna's gone, so he's trying to court Hortense into being the next companion.
I mean, Hortense is
To be
very...
fair, it's Hortense, and she's fucking awesome.
She is very bright. She
How do you
reveals
feel about
herself...
saving the universe? Oh, can I have my Wednesdays off? Oh, the universe doesn't need saving on Wednesdays.
Hortense, how do you feel about saving the universe? I may have a vacancy coming up soon.
Yeah, then we have a little bit of action with the skeletons trying to get the Doctor. They're scaling the tower walls and tearing down the banners.
Oh,
it's even better than
he
that.
hangs himself out the side of the wall to look at
Yes!
the banner.
Yes!
Doctor, what are you doing? Isn't it obvious? I'm holding onto your banner, and there's a skeleton wrapped round my neck. And the way he sort of choke talks while he's doing this.
So
it's so good.
He gets out of that and he's like, I know what the writing on the banner is. It's time to crash Donna's wedding. And so he crashes the wedding and he's like, oh, hi, Death. Oh, don't worry. This has all been an elaborate trap for me.
You forgot the best part where Hortense fights off the skeletons with a broom.
Beautiful. Well, we'll talk about Hortense fighting off the skeletons later.
Yes, fair enough.
But, I'm Death. I work for no one. You are a Mephistolian avatar. And the Mephistols are brilliant con men. So, and then it's like, but the Mephistols gave us 500 years of peace. Ooh, they're not con men. Ah, did they give you peace or just camouflage? Because what they did to fulfill their side of the bargain was just slap a giant perception filter over the entire country.
Yeah, the perception filter's back.
And their only price to maintaining it is souls. So it's me you want. Come on, take me.
Death gets such a big burn with the Doctor here. he almost sort of like laughs it off and goes, "We require." I'm not going to do the voice; 'cause it's going to hurt my throat. But we require one who is loved. Who loves you, Doctor? No one.
He also
Jesus.
says that he's absolutely not concerned with the last Time Lord.
Yeah.
Oh,
He wants his bride.
wait. So you guys didn't make this whole elaborate trap for me?
Nope.
No,
What?
no.
This is a nice double twist. I honestly thought this was a trap for the Doctor.
And then I love how Donna, she repeats something she said at the beginning, which was, "It always has to be about you, doesn't it?"
She's
Yeah,
not wrong.
So this was the grand plan all along. It's this is the system that Goritania has to ensure peace. Every 500 years or so, somebody, the current Prince of Goritania has to go out and court somebody and bring them back and then have a big marriage ceremony for them, fall in love with them, and then once they fall in love, hello, I'm Death. You love somebody. You're the price to pay for Goritania. Have 500 years of peace. Bye.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I can kind of see where Kat's coming from on that. Rudolph is is more hesitant, and not right like sociopath like the Queen Mother is about this. But
Yeah.
I am thinking, I was thinking when I was listening to this of some horror movies that have the sort of same premise where it's like, oh, we'll lure someone in to this place under the pretense of a relationship, and then we'll kill them in the systematic ritual. And the two movies I'm thinking about are Get Out and, hey Rainiac, Midsummer!
Yeah. I got the Midsummer vibes immediately.
Yeah, so, and...
I would also argue The Wicker Man.
Yeah,
Well, that's
yeah,
Midsummer again, basically.
That fits into that genre too.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna quote Nicolas Cage, but like, especially when I was watching Midsummer, after I was having anxiety trauma from the fucking movie.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I know. I was thinking that like, is it truly a sacrifice if you're not giving anything up? Because in Midsummer especially says, oh, we're going to lure these people here and sacrifice them. But we don't give a shit about them. We're just waiting for any old excuse to bash them over the head and ritualistically sacrifice them. And then Get Out, you have this thing of, oh, I love you, but I don't really love you. I'm actually a sociopath, and I lured you here to be killed for our grand scheme.
Yeah. That's a very good point.
It's
Is it a sacrifice if you don't give something up that you are willing to... Yeah.
But, it has to be love, and that does beg the question of if Rudolph really did love, or was he just going through the motions to
See, that's why I argue that his hesitation is so important, because it does show that this is something big that he's giving up. It's like he has to choose between someone that he found that he actually loves and his country.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying...
I would also like to say, this is something that gets pointed out later, but just to add a little bit of fuel to your fire there, Frez, it could also be that Donna is a lot like his mother. Because at the end, Rudolph's like begging for Donna to... Spoilers, but Rudolph is begging Donna to come back and be with him. And she says that it just seems like he wants to be bossed around.
Yeah.
So it's honestly hard to tell if this is actual love or if this is just puppy love, essentially.
Objection.
But I think that even puppy love could somewhat count.
I mean, yeah, I can see where you're coming from there, and also, the fact that Rudolph has to go out of Goritania to lure somebody in, because everyone from Goritania knows this legend, and none of them in their right mind are going to be like, I'm going to marry this person and sacrifice myself for Goritania, which you could make a story about that, about like a maid or somebody getting swept up and being like, Tania to serve my betters. Oh, Rudolph, I love you. I love my kingdom. Let death take me. And having the Doctor tear that down. But instead, he's like luring someone else in there under the false pretenses of, I love you, I'm going to spend my life together. And we're really thinking, yes, I have to do this because we have to sacrifice you for the good of Goritania. So it's very complex and interesting. And
it is.
And being a monarchy, you also cut into a thing of, oh, sometimes kings have to make difficult choices. The quote Rainiac said, some people will die, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make for the greater good.
Also, the whole thing about royalty and the monarchy is where, it's balancing your desires and your pleasure with duty.
I mean, I feel the story is very anti-monarchy, especially because the Queen Mom is like a villain of the piece too, because she's like,
It's very much anti-monarchy.
Well, I mean, there is the bit at the end as well with Hortense.
Oh God, yes.
Well, you know, we'll talk about that when we get to it.
I'm fine with the story being anti-monarchy. I myself am not hugely anti-monarchy because they do also do a lot of good.
You know how I generally like a. I mean, look, what we have here is
Blink twice if you're being held hostage, Rain.
By the royal family. Tap twice. I hope that came through.
No, but like, it's interesting that this story, which would be in 2008, that era, it's not only very funny but also very political. It's
Doctor Who being political.
No, Doctor Who is about recognizable monsters.
My Doctor, what?
Don't ever bring them up again. God.
Well, I'm sure they're crawling out of the woodwork to hiss and shoot. He got one, but
Piers Morgan's already got a thing lined up for his next show.
Well, fuck him. And so yeah, the Queen Mother reminds Rudolph, "We're due for a sacrifice, and you went along with it. You always do what's best for Goritania." Oh, sorry, Doctor. Sorry, Donna. I thought this was an elaborate ruse. The death of a woman truly loved is worth more than your soul, Doctor. And so then the Doctor goes, okay, Rudolph, Your Majesty, let's talk for a minute, you two. And he just reams into him. A single life for centuries of peace. You're willing to pay that price, but not Donna. That's not playing fair. Life's so rare.
You can't miss out the part where, as he's leaving, he says, "Donna, don't do anything stupid."
Yeah. As
Donna proceeds to immediately do something stupid.
But not before we get into the great scene.
No. It was like, you guys don't sacrifice Donna to death. Death, don't sacrifice yourself to death. Or something like
Donna, don't give yourself over to death.
But he says, you're willing to pay the price, but not for Donna. That's not playing fair. And the Queen says, life so rarely does. Rudolph, you don't deserve Donna, but even you don't deserve your mother.
Not wrong.
And so he and Rudolph and Hortense go out, and he has a lovely line. He's like, Rudolph, this is Hortense. She's a maid. She's worth 100 of you.
Damn. And she's about to really earn her keep here because we got the skeleton army. Oh, but all our soldiers were killed, and the ones that remain are not fighting. Oh, we just got an Amazon army of maids.
Oh, well, we got some other stuff here I'd like to cover.
Yeah, sure. The flag.
Name it the flag. The flag protects the royal standard. Protects us. No, it doesn't. The Mephistophelian contract that's in the flag protects you. They're really good lawyers, and their contract is literally indestructible.
Literally.
And so then we get Donna talking to Death, and it's like, if you don't agree to go with me, Goritania will be destroyed. Are these people worth it? They would have you fed to me.
But Donna is inherently good, so yes, it's worth it.
And this is
I really wish I could also remember exactly when it was she does this, but at one point she calls Death Skeletor.
That's just before she takes his hand.
Yeah. Oh, spoiler. Yeah. So Rudolph is like, I have no idea how Goritania ended up in this mess. I'm allowed to leave to find a wife because no women from here would marry me just to get eaten by death. Which, again, it's not playing fucking fair. No. They don't know the price they're about to pay. They're being hoodwinked into it. And is that really a sacrifice? It was like, surprise! Blech! Take her, Death!
Yeah.
I would say it's a sacrifice on part of the prince/king, and not a sacrifice on the part of the women.
No, they don't have a choice in this.
Which is pretty fucking sexist, to be fair.
I also wonder what would happen if they had a princess instead of a king or prince.
Same thing, but reverse.
Yeah.
I guess, but I mean, Death specifically says he wants a bride.
Bring in the himbo, now sacrifice the himbo.
Rainiac, we just got the 14th Doctor. Come on. But yeah, the Doctor's like, aha! The Mephistophels are focusing more on the one outside. Look! The skeleton isn't moving. Oh, the skeleton is moving. Shit.
And then
the skeleton's attacking me. Help.
Yeah, Ten's getting strangled and all that stuff. And Rudolph like, do you need this, my assistance?
And then Hortense comes in and says, "Fine, I'll do it." Snatches the fucking sword from Rudolph, slices the head off of the skeleton. Is like, "Here you go, Your Majesty," and just hands him the sword back.
Yeah.
I love Hortense
She
so
is
much.
so good. She is
Love her
so
too.
good.
It's
Also,
great. So,
he thinks all the skeletons are holograms. They're not all holograms because one, as you say, attacks him. So it's like, right, we need to get back to the wedding before Donna's done something silly. Cut to the wedding where Donna's just done something silly.
well, it's not silly in the end, but yeah, she agrees to dance.
I mean, it is a little silly because Death wants to fucking dance.
Death wants to dance. Well, it's
A
it's
dance
that
with
symbolic,
death, if you will.
Dance with death,
This is when she calls him Skeletor, by the way.
And so they dance, and it's, well, it's...
And
well,
it's like Donna's begging, "Just one more day, Mephisto."
God!
Ah!
But, yeah, and so
The doctor
time
comes in,
has
but he's
come.
too late. Donna gets Death to silence the doctor, but not in a permanent way. What?
I don't know, but either way, I don't know if Donna knows at this point what's going on or not.
Oh, she knows.
Okay, she knows, good, but yeah. So Death moves to complete the bargain and sacrifice Donna, but whoops, Donna activated her trap card, Mirror Force.
So it might. Oh, sorry, I caught that. It might be that she didn't know about the trap. I don't think she did know about the trap.
She didn't know about the trap, but she had a feeling.
But she has enough wherewithal to know about her surroundings, and she knows what's been done behind the scenes that she's privy to and no one else is, and so she takes advantage of that. So here's what happened. Do you remember when the maids were seeing to her wedding dress and her clothing for the big occasion?
Yeah, her embroidered slip.
Yeah. Guess what was embroidered into the slip? The royal standard with the contract.
The completely impenetrable, indestructible royal standard.
And how does Donna word this? Can I take this?
Go for it.
Death couldn't get into my pants.
Catherine Tate, I love you.
Oh, jeez.
Can someone else take the next part? Because that's just broken me a bit.
So yeah, so it's like, oh, Rudolph, you're like, oh, that evil Donna has brought ruin on all of us, and now it's time for the Doctor's Plan B. Hortense and her army, and their rallying cry of "Die, capitalist dogs, die!"
Unleash the Amazon Brigade. And what are they using to take on these capitalist dogs? Javelins with the royal standard wrapped round them.
And so Goritania beats the fuck out of the Mephistolian skeleton army, and it's like, get the fuck out of here. And Donna's like, yeah, and that's the son of your king being arrested by the maids. Awkward.
We should also mention, because I don't think we did, when they went to go confront the skeleton army, the Doctor was explaining to Rudolph and Hortense that this race tends to have very limited supplies, and they have to do like a lot of smoke and mirrors and just basically, Mysterio it up, essentially. So
what? Yeah.
Mysterio.
Smoking what?
Mirrors.
Yeah.
Anyways, so he was talking about how the best way to beat these guys is to deplete all of their resources, and that's essentially what they did here. Was they got rid of the skeleton army, and they were showing that the Goritanians, especially Hortense, who is just absolutely fantastically up for going against anybody who tries to hurt her country, and it's just a fantastic little bit that shows why they're able to beat these guys.
Hell yeah. So, yeah. So Rudolph tries to say, "Oh, Donna, we only acted for the best. You tried to feed me to death. Do me a favor and shut up." And then she gets this rant. Which it also highlights how fucking flawed they are, and B, it just has a great punchline. the worst thing about you two, it's not that you sold your kingdom into slavery, or that you're cowards, or even that you wanted me dead. It's that you proved the Doctor right.
Yeah.
And the doctor comes in like, what was that? Nothing.
Nothing. Don't you realize what we've lost? We've given you generations of peace. Out in the real world, there's nothing but bloodshed and plague. And the Doctor's like, well, actually, the perception filter's still up, so not really.
But you could go out and explore the world. Maybe meet some new people.
At one point, I think Donna recommends that the Queen Mother goes on a Viking River cruise, which is very funny.
You'll be fine with General Hortense and her army of maids. And the Doctor's great line, if it were up to me, they'd be running the place, but I don't do revolutions. Well, not on a Tuesday.
So, yeah, Donna rejects the marriage, because it's still on, technically.
How about no? Rudolph, grow up and grow a pair. As for you, Queen...
Oh, this is just wonderful. This is a great payoff to everything that the Queen Mother's put her through.
Yeah.
She gets to call the Queen Mother a cow.
And then the Queen Mother's like, are you going to let her talk to me like that? Shut up, Mother.
Yeah.
He grew a little spine. Look at him.
A little spine, but let's not be too complimentary of this asshole.
Oh, I mean, yeah, but, you know.
Yeah.
The Doctor says as they go, when you get the chance, Hortense, look up the word republic.
And then later on, I love the smell of overthrowing monarchies in the morning.
I love the smell of regime change in the morning. Yeah.
Beautiful. And so Donna, as they're leaving, says, well, it wasn't my best wedding, but not my worst either. And the Doctor says, so 6 months from now, the Republic of Goritania will be under Hortense's control.
Not even Hortense. Generalissimo Hortense.
Beautiful. And as they leave, they can hear Rudolph, Donna, my love, come back.
Oh, we forgot to bring up a bit of neat trivia that I was going to bring up. Oops.
Oh, well.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
So, there's a scene where Hortense asks the Doctor, aren't you going to attend this wedding? Ah, nah, I've been to the last one. Maybe I'll go to the next one. and fun fact, he does go to the next one on the show.
Yeah, because that's the... So this was set between... before Journey's End. Yeah, okay.
Well, obviously it has to be.
But
Well, timey-wimey.
You can't time... No. You don't... The Doctor Who doesn't usually do timing. Well,
I'm willing to bet that this is in Series 4 sometime, off-screen. Yeah.
Well, I can let you know, since this is like the last part of the first season of the 10th Doctor Adventures, the first audio story is actually like their first adventure, meant to be their first adventure after Donna rejoins the Doctor.
Okay, so before Pompeii, but after Partners in Crime.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. They leave. There's a great bit about Generalissimo Hortense. She'll eat Napoleon for breakfast. And she absolutely will. And that's definitely the Queen. And wow.
Holy shit. So, shall we with the final thoughts?
Yeah, who would like to go first?
It's great. That's it.
Okay.
Well, Kuchiri went first. Well, I'll go second then.
Okay, go ahead.
Good.
Holy fuck. I fucking loved it. Like, it is uproariously funny. I was quoting multiple fucking good lines for the transcript in my notes. David Tennant and Catherine Tate play off each other wonderfully. They're the best companion pair of the Tennant years. Fight me. But not only is it uproariously funny with great witty dialogue, it's also a great political story about the monarchy and sacrifice, and heavy is the burden of the crown as I sacrifice the lesser people, And it's all about that systemic sort of use of power and maintaining it and trying to maintain things for the greater good by unwittingly sacrificing people who don't know they're not in on it. And, they get to break that cycle and call out the monarchy for their callous behavior in sacrificing people for the greater good and all that.
The greater good.
And really get to lay into them. And, just the idea of death is fantastic. And the story, the audio design really gives you Like, you can imagine all this stuff really well thanks to the soundscape of it, which, it's a praise because it's a non-visual medium, so you really have to imagine.
No, I mean, every scene, I had the entire shot. Like, if I was to direct the shots, I had it perfectly in my head. Like, if sometimes, like when you read books or if you listen to like an audiobook or something, you have to think hard about the saying, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
No, in my mind, I had it was like I was watching the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was so easy to, like, see Donna's dress in my mind and see the ramparts and see, like, this medieval village with a huge glow cloud surrounding it. It's like, they did an excellent job with the set pieces.
I really enjoyed this. If this were a Series 8 story, it'd be a top contender for Series 8. I mean, it's not quite as radical as, say, Planet of the Ood, but fuck, it's like on point. This is what they should be remembering 2008 when the show was good and shit. Not fucking, oh look, Jadoon and fob watches and shit. Like the Chibnall-era's had. This is some good vintage throwback Doctor Who. I like this. I liked this a lot. Thank you, Kuchiri. Someone else can talk now.
It's my pick next, so Kat, go ahead.
Alrighty then. I agree with literally everything that's been said before. This is a fantastic audio drama. It's like, it's got the humor, it's got the tension. I would say the only nitpick I have is that it's a little easy to figure out the plot, but even then, that doesn't distract or, like, take away anything from the actual story. It actually made me feel like a little bit, not only a little bit smarter, but also it made me eager to see how they were going to get out of this. And just, the set pieces were fantastic. You could imagine everything, like I said before. Doctor and Donna on point. All the other characters were also fantastic. The way they played off each other is fantastic. Just, this is an amazing thing. And it's like, I'm so glad that Kuchiri decided to pick this and we decided to break our rule about doing Big Finish, because this is absolutely worth it, and everybody else is fucked because now my next pick is going to be the one where Colin Baker sings. So you're all screwed.
Oh, I had that thought in my mind and now it's gone. Oops.
All right. Does that mean I can go ahead?
Yes.
Yeah, I had a thought in my mind, and the second the Colin Baker sings joke came up, it went by.
Oh, it's not a joke. It's a promise.
I get that it's a promise, but please listen to what I have to say first.
Especially since I enabled it.
Yeah, so I echo what everyone else is saying. This is a really, really good, enjoyable.
I like your choice of wording there. You echo.
I echo what everyone else has said. This is a really enjoyable.
You're dancing around it like.
I didn't interrupt your overall thoughts.
Okay, go ahead.
I echo everything that everyone else has said about this story. It's really, really, really good. And yeah, it's an audio adventure, but if you close your eyes, you can absolutely see this play out like it's an episode of the TV show. If this was an episode of the TV show, it would fit right in with Series 4. It really would. I could close my eyes, I could see Blake Ritson as Rudolph, and I could see Donna and see the Doctor. I could see Alice Krieger dressed up as the Queen Mother and Hortense and all that. Speaking of which, Hortense is a fantastic character. I don't think she needs to come back because I think she's fine just in this self-contained this one story. But Bev Chalmers does an amazing job voicing her. And Alan Cox does a great job voicing the very threatening voice of death. And I definitely need to listen to more Big Finish as a result of enjoying this so much. I will say, I don't think we should go to the Big Finish well too often. I think we should keep it to a minimum for special occasions. But I'm fine with doing the occasional Big Finish story on this show now.
Well, good, because I'm serious. My next one is going to be the Pirates one where Colin Baker sings.
So Doctor Who and the Pirates.
Yes.
And that's not a bit. You're actually going to pick that for 3 weeks from now.
That's actually what I'm going to pick.
Okay. Well,
you don't have a choice in that.
Fine. I'm not going to pick Big Finish because it is my choice next.
He's going to pick the second Peter Cushing movies.
No.
That'd be for that.
Ideally, I would have gone for this week instead of next week would have been the perfect pairing, because 2 weeks ago, or a week ago, we did Ace's final television story.
Oh.
And Ace is coming back for the final Jodie Whittaker story.
I know where you're going with
So
this.
is Tegan.
Oh boy.
So let's see how Tegan departed the TARDIS. And
Oh boy.
I apologise right now because this is a very grim story, but we do have to cover it at some point. So next time on Doctor Who Reviews, Peter Davison stars in Resurrection of the Daleks.
Oh boy.
This story actually was not part of the Twitch marathon that they did for Doctor Who. Which is wild because it meant that one episode, Tegan was in the TARDIS, and the next episode, where's Tegan?
He's in London, 1965.
Oh, God. But we do have to cover this, and I think this is one of those stories that Fred is going to hate.
I mean, look, it's like, it is Earthshock with the Daleks, so...
Oh boy, my
you know,
favorite.
I suppose
You know, it's a lot of bang, bang, boom.
I suppose I could change, but it's a very action-oriented story.
That's what Doctor Who is. Bang, bang, shooty, shooty. Oh, look, that monster I remember from when I was 8. Bang, bang, boom,
It
boom,
isn't,
boom.
but in order to get to the end of the Colin Baker stories, we kind of have to do this one first.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Otherwise, that story will make no sense.
Well,
So I'm actually doing this as a kindness as well, so we can get some more Colin Baker. But first,
yeah, to be fair, there's like 3 Cyberman stories we'd have to watch to make that story make fucking sense. Because it is really... Attack of the Cybermen is really like a Chibnall era story where it's like, ooh, remember this, remember this, remember this, we're calling back to this, we're calling back to this. Remember from 20 years ago when the show was good?
yeah. So we are going to do Resurrection of the Daleks, and I'm sorry in advance.
We just had a fantastic one, so it's a bitter pill I can swallow a little easier.
Wow, that makes me feel so much better. Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Well, you've picked a terrible story, but it's okay because we got a good one. So yeah, screw your taste.
Where can you find us, lovely people?
You can find me when I quit. No, you can find us on Twitter at Reviews Doctor. Individually, we are at Reniac the Maniac, at Concave Usurper, at the Kuchiri, and at Freezing Inferno, respectively. We stream video games, apart from me. At the moment, I am planning to change that at some point.
Hey,
I've had an idea that might work. But
He's commissioning a VTuber as we speak.
No, I'm not commissioning a VTuber. I don't need
Join us next time when we have a cameo from Sylvester McCoy.
I don't need a VTuber.
Why would we have a cameo by Sylvester McCoy in Peter Davison's story?
I don't
know.
I don't know. I don't need a VTuber avatar for the occasional streams of gameplay, okay? But
hey,
you can find
Chris,
them.
Can you design a VTuber for Rainier?
You can find them twitch.tv/.
The guy I'm drawing.
You know what? I'm not promoting it. Screw it.
You can find us on Twitter at
I've done that already.
Usurper,
All right.
At Freezing Inferno and at the
Twitch.tv.
Kuchiri. You cannot find Rainiac, however, because apparently he's being a little bitch about this.
Twitch.tv/Concave Usurper. Jesus Christ. Twitch.tv/the Kuchiri and Twitch.tv/Freezing Inferno if you like VTubers.
I'm gonna watch Mega May.
Yeah, Mega Man. Which you did Mega Man 3 last night, didn't you?
Yeah, as of recording. So by now, when you've got this out, I've probably done 4, maybe 5. So who knows how those went?
Well, this won't take long to edit, so...
I'm probably going to be semi-regularly streaming Rogue Legacy 2 and probably getting back to some Final Fantasy.
Yeah, and do you want to know the idea I have, or should I leave it for a future day?
No, go ahead. Let's not.
Fall Guys.
Oh my.
I think we should get together and play a few squad games of Fall Guys.
That'll be fun. I haven't played since Season 1.
I am so bad at Fall Guys.
It's okay, it's a team game.
I got a crown like my second time ever playing Fall Guys.
Okay, Mr. Hard Game Beater.
That's me. Like, thank you.
Also, earlier, didn't I say Gaim? Isn't that a copywriter? Tell me you added that to some point.
Of course it's-
Uh,
Right, right?
Yes, at some point we will do Common Writer stuff.
I thought we got away without mentioning it for a while.
And at some point, Rainiac will get back on the syndicate.
I'm already back on it, but yes.
Thank you.
So, we hope you enjoyed us talking about the Big Finish story, Death and the Queen. Hardly recommend it. Hardly recommend more of James Goss's stuff. That he's done for Doctor Who anyway. Maybe not the Torchwood audios, just because Jack. Although they have moved away from Jack now.
Good.
Jack's been dropped in favour of monthly stories with various different characters. Sometimes members of Torchwood, sometimes enemies of Torchwood. The Billis Manger stories are fantastic. Because it's just him like doing increasingly shady stuff. And getting away with it. Like, I'm here to rescue you from time because you're about to be murdered. Oh, by the way, you've been rude to me. You haven't. You get to leave the train. The rest of you are going to hell.
Hey, you want to know what Big Finish I'll make y'all listen to eventually?
Go ahead.
Y'all are listening to the Missy audio.
Yeah, fair. I didn't get that cat that. No, I got her Masterful. And she really enjoyed it, I think.
Well, say goodnight.
Good night. So, we hope you enjoyed listening to talk about Death and the Queen. Highly recommend it. And join us next time when I make several preemptive apologies for Peter Davidson in Resurrection of the Daleks.
I won't bash you over the head. I'll bash Eric Saber.
Okay.
Metaphorically.
And until then, when the Saber bashing commences, bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye.